Hi everyone, John here. I thought we'd have a little look in one of these hives. We've got 5 hives here. They're all doing really well. Don't know if you can see on the camera, but that's swarming with bees everywhere, going in and out on a nectar flow for the ivory. So the ivy is doing really well this time of year in September, so it's a good source of winter feed for them. We'll have a look in to see if they've got enough feed or they need extra feeding, because I like to keep 45 pounds in each hive for the winter. We've got to check that the queen is still alive and laying, and that's sort of the first process for making sure your hive's ready for winter. There's quite a few steps. They're all easy steps, so if you keep watching my channel, I'll talk you through it as we go through the year. Best way to keep your bees into winter. Here we go then, we'll have a look in one of these hives here. As you can see, they're quite busy at the entrance. Hundreds going in and out. So I've been feeding them and the feed's all gone. We've got a brood and a half on here. I've got the half brood on top. We'll have a look what it's like inside. It's got a bit of propolis on there, so it's well stuck. There is a lot of bees, look, I would say it's looking pretty good for bees, wouldn't you? Quite a covering in bees. But because we see a lot of bees, it doesn't mean to say everything's okay. So, but it's a good indication that it might be all right. We'll have a look in here together. I've got no I haven't got a dummy board in this hive. This is the honey super on top, which is the half brood. I'll take this out. This looks like it's full of winter stores, which is honey now, obviously, because it's all capped. Look, it's a very heavy. That's a very heavy frame of winter stores. There's about 3.5 pounds in there. Normally they weigh 3 pounds, but there's about 3.5 in there. I'll put that to one side to give me some room, and we'll go in and see what we've got. I'll go along here a little bit. Like that, it's probably got 2.5 pounds in this one. I would say it's got some open cells at the back, but it's full up with nectar. So it looks to me that like this may not need feeding anymore. I'll just have a look at a few more on the top, see if there's any brood in here or anything. That's all nectar or honey stores for the winter. So that's a good lot of stores in this hive. It's looking really good. Each one of these frames will be averaging out to about 3 pounds a frame in weight. So you've got 10 or 11 frames in here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11 frames. So that's 33 pounds of honey it could have up here if it was all full up. And we want 45. So, look, it's very nice. Can you see? Have a look. It's got lovely, all capped. I can't see an issue with this top box. I won't bore you with it going through the whole lot, but this is going to be fine up here. Look, I just want to see whether or not there is any brood in this hive. There's been brood in there on the top box. Can you see the different colour here? This round here is a different colour. So they've had brood in there, but they're now backfilling with nectar, which they're going to do in September, because the queen will reduce her egg laying and they will backfill where they were with nectar. I bet there's some brood in this bit. Wouldn't be surprised. There was brood, it's hatched out. But I wonder if there's any eggs in here. Let's have a look. I don't know if you can make it out, but this is all capped honey along here, look. See, this is all capped honey right round here, all capped honey, and all here, this part here is open cells, and they're all full of eggs. So the queen has been laying up there with eggs. I don't know if you can see in the back of the cells there. See, so I'll put that one back, and so that's got eggs in it. We'll just have a little look in this one. Like this frame here, it's got lots of larvae in it. It's actually not fully drawn out because it's one of them plastic frames, which I don't like. So this top box here is absolutely fine. There's no problem with it at all. It's got plenty of stores. We'll have a look in the bottom box now. It's mostly honey in here with a little bit of winter bees coming. Put that over there. Very carefully push them back. What we've got to try not to do is to squash any bees. We mustn't squash any bees, and we don't want to annoy them. So if we do things nice and slow like that, let the bees all get out of the way. I'm pushing it all back, give them time to get out of the way, and then it stops the bees getting very angry with us. So I try my hardest not to bang the hive. Put it round this way, see this one. Try not to bang the hive and try not to scrape and roll bees, and then you've got a bit of chance of not being attacked by them, so that they defend themselves. So I'm going to move this top box off here now, and we'll go down to the brood box, and see what that looks like. I'm going to put this crown board or cover board back on here whilst I look in the bottom one. Take this half brood or the super off now, which has got some eggs and larvae in it a little bit, and I'll have a look underneath in the main brood box and see what they're up to. It's a good idea to have a little box like this with you when you're doing bees, to put any cone like this, any base cone or anything, so you can clean it up a bit. We'll put that in there, we'll clean all this up. Just very carefully get them off. Try not to squash any bees at all. There's a little bit there, look, I'll get that off very gently. They should get out of the way if I just do it carefully like that. Yeah, look. So nice and careful. Get this bit off of here. That's the brace comb off. Because if you've got a bit of brace cone on there like that, and then you put the other box back, you could have some bees on it and it squashes them. So best to keep that off. Now this was a swarm, as I say, in the summer, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's only got 7 frames from when the swarm moved in, and these haven't been drawn out. So the main bulk of the bees are here. It's unlikely they're going to draw these out now because it's coming to the end of the year, but there should be enough. There should be enough room there for the bees for wintering. They've got a lot of stores in the top box anyway, which is quite good. They're starting to draw this frame out, look. it's pretty well drawn out that side. So it's going to be interesting in here now in this bit to see what they got. I've put the happy stand on here, there, but happy stand mite treatment. I don't know if you can see that. Make it out just there. And sometimes they do go off lay a bit when you're giving them the treatments for mites. But that's got lots of stores in there. Look, this is honey again for the winter. I mean, it would have been ideally nice if all this was drawn out, all these other frames as well for the winter, but they'll still be okay, I reckon, in this. I'll make sure they're warm enough, they've got plenty of insulation. But that's all drawn out like that one nicely. This was a swarm, as I say. That's drawn out. Look, we should get to some eggs, I would have thought, just up here now, brood or larvae or something. Got a little pinch there. I must have put my finger on a bee then, that wasn't very good. Not looking properly. I'll get this out, this treatment. Just take that out a minute. Put that down there, out of the way. There. I'll just put that there a minute. I'll have a look in here. I don't think this queen's marked. I never did mark the queen. This is actually foundation. Look. Can you see this one is foundation that they've drawn out themselves. I haven't put that in there. That's what the bees are drawn out. I just put a little starter strip about a ½ an inch along the top, and they've drawn that down. And that's all full of brood, look. See the brood in there, nice brood pattern around there, look. All this is brood, cat brood, look. I'll move them out of the way, see it? Lovely, nice condition cat brood. We'll have a look to see if we can see the queen in here, might see her. If I do see her, I might even mark her. Because I don't think I marked this one. I never did get round to it, I don't think. So if we move them nice and slow like that, the frames, look. Oh, there's the queen, I did mark it. Look. Oh yes, that was it. It was the, of course it is, it's the queen that we thought was Italian. That was right, this one I did, didn't I? Look. We've got the Italian queen there. There she is, marked with the blue dot. Going round, so that's a nice queen, nice and brown, light brown colour, all of her. You can see the queen just there, look, with the blue dot. Well, I'll just put the queen back now, so I didn't want to lose her, and so I had to turn the camera off, but I'll put her back on this frame. She's on this frame. You might see her, she might have jumped off already. But she was on there safe and I popped her back. Oh, there she is, yeah. She's just there and she's walking around still. So I'll put her back for safety. She's down in there now, look. I've left the inch gap in between there and there, and then I'll slowly pull them two together and the little bees on the lugs get out of the way and she's safe in there. And you know you've got a viable queen for the winter now. I've got no need to probably find her again, because you know, it's unlikely she's going to die now this time of year. What she could do, but there's a really nice frame of capped brood there. Look, I've got to show you that. Can you have a look at that? Look how nice it is. It's fully capped, and it's the whole frame has got capped brood on it. So there'll be sort of winter bees, or on the way for winter bees. It's a really lovely frame. So she's laying very well. So I would say that this hive's going to be quite good for the winter. It's got quite a lot of stores for only 6-7 frames of bees in there. So there's going to be plenty in this hive for these. I haven't got any worries about this. As I say, I'd prefer having these frames drawn out as well, but it's okay. I'll push that one back. Push that back really carefully. You don't want to squash nothing. Right, that's that. Now I'm going to put this epi stand back. Still got a few more weeks to go on that. You can just slide that down and get out of the way, look. And what I like to do is push that down so it sticks. There's a little bit of propolis there, and if I can stick that down, I'll push that hard like that, because that don't fall down in then. I like to make sure that's stuck, because look, there's a bit of wax there. If you push that down, that won't fall down into the hive. So there we are, we'll push that back now. Look, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 frames of bees there. From a swarm in the summer, I would say that's going to be alright. I could pop some capped brood from other bees from another hive in here if I wanted to, but that just diminishes them. So this time of year I'll leave them as they are, and I would say they're going to be alright. Put these back. This queen here is from in the town, actually, at Dover, where I live. I live in a village. I live in a village in the country, but about 3 miles away is a town called Dover, and I went into the town of Dover and got this out of a small tree, and I'll see how the swarm is getting on. I'll take this cover board off. I have been feeding them and it's empty. Oh, there's a lot of propolis on that. Did you hear that crack? It's that really hard propolis that sticks like glue. Really, really hard. Oh, actually, it's not just the propolis that's stuck. It's the honey. It's got too much honey in there. So they definitely don't need feeding with honey anymore, I would say. All this has got to be cleaned off now. I'll have to clean all this off. Well, that's cleared the excess honey off of there and place comb. I've got a dummy board here. I'll take this out, look. There's a dummy board out of the way. Right, this has got about 4 pounds of honey in there. I would say it's about 4 pounds, I would say. Quite heavy. There's a lot of propolis in this one, which is a good thing because it's anti-bacterial business in it. Well, this is very heavy. That is about £4 of honey in there. There's no eggs or anything like that. It's all nectar in there and honey. So that's there's about £8 there just in them 2 frames. So I definitely won't want to feed this anymore. Oh, there's another about £4.5 in there. That's full of nectar and all that's fully capped, that one. A beautiful honey frame for the winter. So these are going to be fine, I say. I can see it. No point in feeding these anymore. Oh, look at that. That's a honey frame. Another one, full right up. But this one has got the epi stand on it. Look, show you. See, it's got the epi stand there. I'll just put that down there for a minute, out of the way. And this one, this frame here, should have brood on it. And it has got brood on it. It's got larvae, eggs and cat brood. Have a look at that, look. It's got loads of cat brood. This is a good hive, this is. This is very strong going into winter. I've got no trouble with this one. See, this is twice as strong as the one next door. And this is a swarm as well. And this is going to be one of them hives that are difficult to keep control of next year for swarming. It's obviously a prolific layer. Look at that. Have a look at that, look, cat brood this time of year, loads of it. I mean, I could take some of this out of here and put in the hive next to it. We'll boost that hive next to it. We've got the epi stand here as well. Well, this has got loads of eggs in here, so full of eggs that where they've emerged. Yep, there's not a problem with this hive. It's got quite a lot of stores in it, overflowing, so I'm going to leave them to their own devices now. There's loads of ivy everywhere, so there's the ivy flower and the bee stuck in there, look, getting the nectar and the honey. Have a look how lovely that is, look. Honeybee collecting nectar and pollen off the ivy. these bees are going to be fine in my opinion. All I've got to do is make sure they've got plenty of insulation and things like that for the winter. Put them back. I'll push all these back together carefully, very slowly, pushing these frames back. Put that back, the old dummy board. And I'll put these away now. They're going to be fine, I would say. A lot of bees in here. I don't think they're going to swarm. It's always a possibility. Really, I should take a couple of these frames out of here, put it in the weaker hive next to it, give them a bit more room, but I'm going to leave them because I think they'll be alright for this time of year. Right, and I hope you found that a little bit interesting. At least we saw the queen, didn't we? The Italian one. It's very. Alvin said it was an Italian anyway. I've got one buzzing around me now, so I'm going to go because I don't want to get stung on the face. And I'll see you all on the next episode. Ta-da, everyone! Oh, bee chasing me. Oh, see ya! Nearly got stung. Ta-da!